Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Tomb Tuesday. It is February 15th, 2022. Let's go over the numbers real quick. Tomb right now is sitting at 212 or 1.0188 to FTM. T-Share is sitting at 7157 or 3446 to Phantom. And T-Bond is sitting at 1.02. TVL at 744 million. Let's go over to the announcement. First and foremost, TombSwap has been launched. That is correct. It is live. Very pleased to be able to deliver you an important new product for the Tomb Finance ecosystem. From there goes on to talk about how all of these things are taking place and how all of them will help to benefit the entire ecosystem. T23 ecosystem, that partnership, everything with TombSwap, all of these things are a stepping stone or a building block for things like Life, Felix, Fanny, FTMpad, so on and so forth. So it's a lot of stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes, and a lot of pieces of the puzzle need to be put together in order for everyone to see the bigger long-term vision for Tomb Finance. From there, it goes on to thank the community once again for their continued support and patience over the last several weeks. Rest assured that our team right now they're more determined, more focused, and more motivated than they've ever been before. And they do want to deliver all of these products that they've promised, and all of that stuff is in the works behind the scenes. Moving on in the announcement, back to TombSwap. So TombSwap is finally here. TombSwap has been launched. You can see it on the website right here, and you can go to Swap. It's the fifth one over. Click on Swap, and you'll be able to get to Swap right here, internal to Tomb.com. Again, this is a reminder that the legacy site, Tomb.finance, is being retired. So you're going to want to get yourself onto Tomb.com. This way, you can handle everything Tomb related all in one site, all under the same house. TombSwap, we did a video on. It's already on YouTube. You can go and check that out as you please. Just a quick tutorial that sort of goes over what swap is, the available tokens, so on and so forth. We'll cover the tokens right here while we're on the screen. But Phantom, Tomb, My, T-Bond, T-Share, and Wrapped Phantom. So all that stuff is available right now to Swap, and that does talk about that right here. Now, also some benefits, additional LPs in addition to Tomb FTM and T-Share FTM, which are currently in the cemetery. There's going to be a Tomb T-Share and a Tomb My LP. Now, you can make those LPs now, but staking won't come for about another 14 days. So it's going to be about 2 weeks. It could be earlier. Maybe a little bit later, we'll see, all right? But the cushion right here is about 14 days until we'll be able to have those pools and be able to stake them. All of this stuff provides benefits for the DAO. That's really the big thing here. Really want to harp on those trading fees go back to 1, LP holders, and 2, to the DAO. And by going back to the DAO, you're building the war chest, you're creating stability in all of the Tomb ecosystem. And that war chest, the bigger it is, the better it can stabilize the peg. All of those are a win-win-win across the board. And the fees are set at 0.5, but half of that back to LP holders. So you make the LP, you're getting those fees all day long, which is great. And then the DAO gets fed at the same time. So all really good things happening. Now, for the OG LPs, for the traditional LPs that have always been there, right, the Tomb FTM and T-Share FTM LPs, they will remain on SpookySwap. So if you're comfortable in those LPs, you're good to go. You need to do nothing, all right? Just make sure that you are aware of that. Moving on. Here's what to expect in the next edition. So you're looking at V1 right now when it comes to TombSwap. This is the initial rollout. These are the 6 assets that can be swapped in and out of each other, and a handful of LPs that can be created, just not staked. Coming up, though, in the next one, no official launch date yet, so don't mark anything on your calendars just yet. Just be aware of the announcements, the Discord, the Telegram, Twitter. Those are the avenues where you'll be able to get that information. The T23 ecosystem taking shape and starting with TombSwap. So LPs that pair Tomb and 2 ohm, and then Tomb and 3 ohm. That's what's going to be available coming in the next version in V2 of TombSwap. Staking and earning rewards will be available about a week to a week and a half after that V2 launch. So again, be about a week, a little bit of cushion after that, and then you'll be able to start moving with those staking. All of that staking is going to take place on T23ohm.com. That's this website here. So this website will be populated from what it sounds like. This is what's going to host all of those new LPs. So something to be aware of. The link will be in the description as always, and you could just earmark it, create a tab, or save it for future reference. LP fees will be split amongst the T23 ecosystem, and then, they'll just go on for adding more enhancements. Any feedback that we get on swap can try to be implemented into this V2. Any bug issues that come up, so on and so forth. So just look for a cleaner, more polished version, or if nothing is broken, then nothing will be fixed. All right. Talking about TombSwap and talking about liquidity and movement on there. So just in the first 2 hours, there was 30 million pushed over there. Now we can see all of this right here on FMC Guru Dex. TombSwap right here showing in with 6 pools, 825 TVL, showing 46 for total liquidity. Call it 47, 46, 795. And then volume. Now I'm assuming this would have to update, so it's still new on the list, sitting at 3 days, I suppose, of history. So once they work all that stuff out, we'll be able to see the analytics properly. But that is just a really good thing to know, that just in the very beginning, there was a massive amount of attention pushed onto TombSwap, and that will grow over the course of the days, weeks, months, etc. Moving on, added new recently to this Tomb Tuesday is a brief section where we get some questions from the community, and Harry will handle them right here in the Tomb Tuesday announcement. So let's cover these real quick. Question: how will trading volume on TombSwap affect Tomb T-share price with respect to the pricing being 100% on SpookySwap at the moment? Answer: trading volume on TombSwap will help balance and stabilize price because more liquidity is being added outside of SpookySwap. We are currently adding additional liquidity and providing incentives for others to do as well. All right, so that's a question that's come up quite often. What's going to happen when you have so much of the volume sitting in one place? Now what happens to those price effects now that you're on, let's say, a separate DEX? So it's a great question, great answer. Just going to help balance and stabilize. That'll take a little while. So there's going to be some ebbs and flows. There's going to be some ARB opportunities in between the two. Everybody understands this. And as that equalizes out, then things will become tighter and tighter and tighter. All right, next question. How does the new LP farm incentives affect the old APRs? This is pertaining to T-share emissions, and if there were changes or modifications that would affect the old farm. So again, another great question. And again, the answer is balancing. There's going to be balancing in between all of those LPs. So with your old, in respect to the older LPs, right now handling all of the emissions, the second you add another LP in there, of course, there's going to be a balancing effect where what's in those LPs or how much TVL is in those LPs is going to help give you an idea of what those rewards or what those emissions are going to be. Further clarification will be made in the coming weeks, so I suppose we'll get some more detailed information as staking approaches. All right, as of right now, you can make the LPs, but there's nothing to stake, so there's not a conversation to be had in a major way or in any major effect until we can actually stake. All right, another question. Where will the 2 ohm, 3 ohm related pairs and the associated farms be hosted? Are we correct in assuming those would be incentivized by 2 ohm, 3 ohm related tokens? So the answer, the swaps, all the swaps, the LPs, the creations, all of that stuff will be handled on TombSwap. Staking all of those, and yes, the LPs will be incentivized. Staking all of those will be on T23ohm.com. That's the website we looked at earlier. All right, and the last question for the community Q&A, the NFTs, right? The Andre NFTs, the VE33 NFTs. What are the plans on using those? Unfortunately, no major update. It says right here that we will have more information as it becomes available, as it has just launched and we are working on the integration within the ecosystem. So that'll happen when it happens. I'm sure they're working on it in the background. Whatever makes the most sense for Tomb Finance is likely what will be done. And that's a question that they've been asked plenty of times. It's now addressed in the Tomb Tuesday. There's just nothing to share yet. When there is, I'm sure there will be an announcement. I'm sure that it'll be on Twitter, it'll be on Telegram, or they'll talk about it beforehand. But right now, there's just no news to go any further on that topic. All right, and then the last section over here are just some updates, if there are any updates. So consider this potentially a repeatable screen so that we're always staying on top of what's to come. Airdrops, right? There's no additional information. The last Tomb Tuesday took care of all of that information, so you can always refer back to that Medium article, or you could take a look at the announcements in the Discord. Projects under development, things like Life, Felix, Fanny, FTMpad or FTMpad, and Only, now mentioned for the first time in a Tomb Tuesday announcement. All of that stuff is to be announced. No major updates or nothing that's groundbreaking that needs to be shared at the moment. Just know that they are all under development. Know that they are all being worked on in the background. Further information on the latest significant updates, again, you could go over to the Medium. And I'll pull that Medium real quick because in this Medium, you'll be able to see this Tomb Tuesday as well. So this is, again, another new thing that started last week, where now you'll be able to get the Tomb Tuesday updates on Medium as well. So if you prefer this style to read your Tomb Tuesdays, that's great. It looks beautiful, lots of bullet points, everything is nice and pretty, and it's all really clean. All the other articles as well, of course, are on Tomb Finance. So all you have to do is just click on Tomb Finance, and it'll pull up the TombSwap, it'll pull up the previous Tomb Tuesday, the Postmortem Revival. So all of that stuff is sitting here on Medium for you to access whenever you please. Now that will wrap it up for this Tomb Tuesday. He just goes on to thank everybody for their continued patience and support, as we all do with this community. All right, that will wrap it up. Happy Tomb Tuesday, and keep calm and tomb on.